If you ever wanted to know how large delivery driving companies scare away drivers forever, I have just experienced something that is making me rethink the way I do delivery driving, and it may affect my earnings. If you're an Uber Eats driver, you've probably seen this screen from time to time telling you that you are going to be kicked offline because you are not accepting orders. Of course, you can go in and say, oh yes, I'm still accepting orders, please take me back online, and you can start accepting orders again. However, it can be extremely annoying if they decide to kick you off a lot more frequently than they have been doing in the past. If you're an Uber Eats driver and you haven't seen this screen, if you're familiar with DoorDash, it is similar to this one, where they tell you, oh, you've been paused for the next 10 minutes. If you don't do anything, you're gonna have your dash ended, and you can easily just click resume dash if you really want to do that. It's no secret that Uber and all of these other delivery driving companies want you to accept basically every single order, but now they've gone a little too extreme and it's making me pretty upset. So here it is, the new information that has now come to my Uber account. Instead of just occasionally pausing me if I decline like 10 to 20 orders, I am now being paused every single time I decline 3 orders in a row. I have tried to calculate exactly how many declines it takes for Uber to pause me over the past couple days, since that is how long I've had this issue on my Uber account. It's happened quite a bit. I would say over 50 times in these past couple days. Here is an actual example of what happened to me while I was on the road and I had the privilege to experience. This first order is so terrible here. 2 deliveries for $8. These customers did not tip very much, if they even tipped at all. And it's 14 miles total. Of course we're rejecting that. So that is decline number 1. Now we move on to the second one, and it's $3. Hey, the mileage is really short, but I'm pretty sure this customer did not tip, or they tipped $1 maximum with the $2 base pay I have in my area from Uber. So we're gonna have to reject that, of course, because we're trying to make at least $20 an hour, but we're really aiming for $25 to $30 an hour in this market. So that's just not gonna happen for me. Of course, I'm never trying to accept orders that have no tip or even a low tip of $1. That is decline number 2. Then we move on to the third one. And this one might be the worst out of these 3. Like, this is a package, so I kind of forget if this was like an Apple store or a Walmart. Like, that just seems like a terrible idea to get into that. That's so bad. So we're going to decline that. And then of course we get the notification saying, hey, we're taking you offline. So you can either just stay offline or you can go back online. This is extremely frustrating because it did not used to be like this just a couple days ago. So of course you can probably understand why this is frustrating to have to decline. Oh, yeah, okay, let's go back online. Decline. Let's go back online. Of course, you guys understand that frustration, but there is some much deeper frustration along with this. So multi-apping. Multi-apping is a way for you to make more money as a delivery driver. It's completely safe for you to do this, and you are in no risk of deactivation because you can simply accept one order from a platform, and then after you drop that one off, you can activate yourselves on all of your apps to try to find the best order possible, and you're at no risk of deactivation to do this as long as you're just taking one order at a time. But you are going to have your pick on the best order that you can. Let's say the best order this time around, it's a DoorDash order. And then next time around, oh, the best order is an Uber Eats order. Like, you can go through this process to accept the best orders, maximizing your profits. But multi-apping with this scenario, the way that my Uber account currently sits, you could decline 3 orders in a row and not realize that you have been paused on Uber. And if you have DoorDash as your other app that you're using, you could be focusing most of your attention on there because DoorDash in almost every single market has more orders than the other apps. And so you might just be on DoorDash declining some really bad ones, some no tip orders, or some really far distance orders. And you might not realize that you are paused on Uber. 10 minutes could go by easily and you just wouldn't even know that you're paused. And so this can lead to you losing out on some pretty huge payouts from Uber for short distance trips, but you just would think, okay, well, Uber's just not sending me an order right now. But in reality, you're actually paused or you're offline and you are not receiving any offers. Another huge way this could impact drivers is that going offline actually tends to reset you in the algorithm. I've done tests about this for months, trying to understand the algorithm better and how to get better orders to my phone so that I can make more money while I'm out there. I can pretty confidently say that the longer you're online waiting for an order, the closer you are to receiving the type of offer that you want. As long as you decline enough offers and you're in a very busy market, you're just bound to get a pretty good offer. However, there are a ton of orders that are either no tip or high distance that these platforms are willing to send drivers. Since these offers do have low tip or no tip, or they're just really far distance and nobody wants them, they are trying to get them delivered as fast as possible because those orders are probably late. They've probably just been sitting at the restaurant waiting for somebody to pick them up. And when you get reset in the algorithm by going offline, as soon as you go online again, you are more likely to receive that offer, that terrible offer. Now, this problem comes in when you go offline after 3 declines. You may get 3 orders that have just been sitting there. And of course, these are going to be terrible offers. So you decline all 3 and then they kick you offline. And then you go back online, they'll send you 3 terrible offers and then you'll kick you offline. This is an extremely devastating experience because instead of just declining 10 in a row and then on the 11th one, it's a really good order, you're just gonna continue to see those really bad offers. I'm racking my brain to try to find out maybe this is some sort of accident that is happening to my specific account. Maybe this is just some weird glitch, but I do think that it's intentional that Uber decided to put this on my account. Of course, they are always testing out different ways to try to get drivers to accept as many orders as possible because, of course, if a customer is using their service to get their food or their Walmart orders or their grocery orders, they want all of those delivered to the customers because they don't want the customer to have a bad experience. So they're always pushing ways to try to get drivers to accept more orders. And unfortunately, a lot of the newer drivers, they may decide to take these offers because they think they have to. And of course, you do not have to. This might be Uber's way of trying to manipulate drivers to accept these terrible orders because they'll say, hey, if you decline 3 in a row, we're kicking you offline, so you better accept one before that 3rd decline. So with that in mind, I really don't think that this is an accident or a mistake. I think Uber programmed the app in such a way that this just happened to fall onto my account, even though it's not falling onto other people's accounts necessarily. I know that especially people who deliver in Canada, I've seen a lot of comments about that where this could be happening to you as well. Uber will continue to kick you offline just so often. I haven't seen too many other people talk about this, getting kicked off with just 3 declines, but that is so little. I like to keep my acceptance rate anywhere from 5 to 15% and usually somewhere lower than 10%. So trying to keep my acceptance rate above 33% that is just really, really difficult. I hope that this change in my Uber account is temporary. I like to believe that Uber is just trying to test out these different ways and then may eventually just decide to take this off of my account because they think it's such a bad idea. I really hope that is the case, but there are other changes that Uber has made to my account that they still have not decided to remove since January. So it's been almost 1 whole year that I have had this thing where I have to accept 3 of my last 10 deliveries where they will hide the restaurant location and the drop-off location from me when I'm trying to accept an order. If I keep a 30% acceptance rate or higher every 10 offers, then this isn't a problem. But of course, like I just said, I like to keep my acceptance rate below 10%. So it is a big problem, and they have not removed this from my account in almost 1 full year. I may not be discussing this exact topic in future videos, but if you see me driving for Uber Eats quite a bit on this channel, then you can probably assume that this was a temporary change. And if I do not decide to drive for Uber that much on this channel, then maybe that's a sign that this is still a problem for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see another Uber Eats video, click on the one right here. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.